Welcome to the Algorithm Archive. If you're interested in tech, innovation, and the business of the future, make sure to subscribe. Now, let's begin. ChatGPT grew to 100 million users faster than any product in history. But here's the real question. How does OpenAI actually make money? Is ChatGPT a profitable business, or is there something much bigger going on behind the scenes? Today, we're breaking down the entire business model of ChatGPT, from subscriptions to APIs to billion-dollar licensing deals, and trust me, OpenAI was never supposed to be a business. When it launched in 2015, it was a non-profit research lab backed by Elon Musk and Sam Altman. But everything changed in 2019. The cost of training large models exploded into the hundreds of millions. OpenAI realized that if they wanted to build AGI, the ultimate form of artificial intelligence, they would need massive capital. So the company created a capped profit structure, allowing them to raise money while still claiming a mission-driven goal. The pressure to deliver pushed OpenAI into full startup mode, hiring aggressively, scaling infrastructure, and commercializing breakthroughs faster than ever. Research alone wasn't enough anymore. They needed revenue, customers, and a sustainable business model to support the massive computational demands of building frontier AI. This shift unlocked major partnerships and investment deals, including the now famous agreement with Microsoft. Suddenly, OpenAI had access to world-class cloud computing, dedicated supercomputers, and a stream of capital that allowed them to scale models far beyond what a nonprofit could ever afford. In other words, the only way to build the future of AI was to start acting like a business. And that decision transformed OpenAI from a small research lab into one of the most influential tech companies on the planet. The capped profit structure, once seen as unusual or even controversial, suddenly made perfect sense. It gave OpenAI the ability to raise nearly unlimited money while still presenting itself as guided by a noble technological mission. Investors could profit, but only up to a point. The rest, in theory, would benefit humanity. Most people don't realize this, but every ChatGPT conversation costs real money. Every message you send triggers a massive operation behind the scenes, servers spinning up, GPUs processing tokens, and data centers pulling megawatts of electricity. It feels instant and effortless, but the infrastructure behind it is anything but cheap. Depending on the model, a single ChatGPT query might cost only a fraction of a cent in compute. That sounds tiny, until you multiply it by hundreds of millions of users, each asking millions of questions every day. Suddenly, that fraction of a cent balloons into hundreds of millions of dollars just to keep the service running. And that's only operational cost. Before we get into it, quick message: if you're enjoying this breakdown, do me a quick favor, hit the like button so the YouTube algorithm knows this is worth sharing. And if you want more deep dive into how big techs really make money, make sure you subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Here's why it matters. When you like and subscribe, it helps this channel reach more creators, entrepreneurs, and curious minds just like you. And in return, you'll never miss the tech stories and business insights we're uncovering every week. Alright, back to the video. The first and most obvious revenue stream is ChatGPT Plus, the subscription that turned a viral product into a dependable business. For $20 a month, users get faster responses, priority access during peak hours, and early access to the newest and most capable models. It's a simple offer, but incredibly powerful. When ChatGPT exploded in popularity, demand massively outpaced OpenAI's compute capacity. Free users often saw ChatGPT as at-capacity screens. Plus solved that problem, not just by giving subscribers guaranteed access, but by giving OpenAI a financial cushion to scale the infrastructure needed to keep the product running smoothly. And people signed up fast. Within months, millions of users upgraded to Plus, turning ChatGPT from a free viral tool into one of the fastest-growing subscription businesses in tech history. The number doesn't sound huge, $20 a month, but at scale it becomes transformative. This alone brings in hundreds of millions of dollars in recurring revenue every year, predictable, stable, consistent. But the real genius of ChatGPT Plus is this. Every time OpenAI releases a new frontier model, Plus becomes the first place people experience it. GPT-4, GPT-4 Turbo, GPT-4o, GPT-5, all of them drive surges of new upgrades. The subscription practically renews itself, because users want the latest intelligence without waiting for it to trickle down to the free tier. And with Plus subscribers helping fund compute costs, OpenAI can keep offering a free version of ChatGPT, keeping the product accessible and maintaining its global user base, without drowning in infrastructure expenses. Here's where things get serious. While ChatGPT Plus brings in steady subscription revenue, the real money comes from the API, the backbone of thousands of AI products across the world. Every time a company integrates ChatGPT-like features into their app, they're not running their own AI. They're renting OpenAI's. Businesses pay for access to the GPT models on a per-token basis, tokens being tiny chunks of text representing words, characters, or pieces of code. That means every customer service reply, every marketing email draft, every chatbot conversation, every AI code suggestion. All of it quietly funnels money back into OpenAI with every generated word. This model scales like nothing else. One developer might spend a few dollars a month. A startup might spend thousands. A large enterprise could spend millions per year. And because the API is usage-based, there's no ceiling. As companies grow, their usage grows. As more apps rely on AI, the number of requests explodes. OpenAI essentially powers a massive, invisible layer of intelligence across the internet, and every interaction becomes a line of revenue. Next is Enterprise, the quiet giant of OpenAI's business. While individual users pay $20 a month and developers pay per token, big companies want something far more powerful: private, secure, dedicated versions of ChatGPT built specifically for their needs. These enterprise plans aren't cheap. They can cost thousands, hundreds of thousands, or even millions of dollars per year, depending on the size of the organization and the scale of usage. But for enterprises handling sensitive data, financial institutions, hospitals, law firms, government agencies, the investment makes sense. What these companies are really paying for is control. They want guaranteed privacy. They want isolation from the public models. They want custom integrations with their internal systems. They want compliance with strict legal and regulatory frameworks. And most importantly, they want reliability at enterprise scale. To a global corporation, this isn't just AI, it's a competitive advantage. Automating customer service saves millions. AI-assisted legal research cuts workloads in half. Finance teams analyze data with near-instant insights. HR departments streamline hiring. Engineers use AI copilots to build software faster. In 2024, OpenAI introduced something completely new: the GPT Store, essentially an app store for AI. Instead of apps that run on your phone, these are AI agents and tools built directly on top of ChatGPT. And just like the App Store or Google Play, OpenAI takes a percentage of the revenue from every creator. The idea is simple but incredibly powerful. Anyone, a developer, a business, even a solo creator, can build their own GPT with custom instructions, capabilities, knowledge bases, and integrations. These GPTs can do everything from generate legal documents, to plan vacations, to analyze stock markets, to automate business workflows. And because they live inside the ChatGPT ecosystem, users can discover them instantly, try them instantly, and pay for them instantly. Beyond subscriptions, APIs, enterprise plans, and the GPT Store, OpenAI has another major revenue engine, licensing its technology to global tech giants. And the biggest deal, the one that changed everything, is the partnership with Microsoft. This wasn't just a simple investment, it was a full-scale strategic alliance. Microsoft didn't just put billions into OpenAI. They integrated OpenAI models across their entire ecosystem: Windows, Office, GitHub, Bing, Azure, and the Copilot platform. Every time a user clicks a Copilot button in Microsoft 365, or every time a developer generates code using GitHub Copilot, OpenAI plays a role behind the scenes, and Microsoft pays for that access. OpenAI licenses its technology to companies in education, healthcare, legal services, robotics, finance and fintech, scientific research, and enterprise software. Each partnership comes with its own contract, its own pricing model, and its own long-term revenue stream. Some deals involve embedding GPT models into existing products. Others involve co-developing entirely new solutions tailored to specific industries. The result: OpenAI isn't just selling access to ChatGPT. It's supplying AI infrastructure to some of the largest and most influential companies on Earth. Another major revenue stream, and one of the most exclusive, is custom model development. Not every organization can rely on general-purpose models like GPT-4 or GPT-5. Some industries need highly specialized intelligence, AI that understands medical imaging, legal documents, scientific research, financial markets, supply chain data, or even robotic sensor inputs. That's where OpenAI's custom model program comes in. These aren't off-the-shelf tools. They're bespoke AI systems built from the ground up for a single client's needs. OpenAI works directly with top-tier organizations, research institutions, biotech companies, law firms, Fortune 500 enterprises to create models that can analyze proprietary data, follow strict rules, operate within regulated environments, and outperform generic models in niche tasks. And these projects are not cheap. The result is a high-ticket offering where a single engagement can cost millions of dollars. For organizations where accuracy, reliability, or domain expertise is mission-critical, that price is not just acceptable, it's a bargain compared to the alternative. But here's the real future. Agents. OpenAI is building AI systems that can autonomously complete tasks, booking travel, running a business, coding apps. When agents become mainstream, OpenAI will likely charge for compute time, just like cloud providers today. This could unlock the biggest business model in the company's history. So there you have it, OpenAI's multi-billion-dollar strategy for turning ChatGPT into one of the most profitable technologies of all time. If you love deep dives into AI, tech, and business, make sure to subscribe to the Algorithm Archive. And tell me in the comments which revenue stream surprised you the most.